Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MLG Winter Championship. I'm Rob Simpson.
And I'm Tumba.
And we are moving into, I guess, what's called Game 4 in this series between EGHuk and Socke. Currently, EGHuk sits up 3-0 in the series. Game 2 is going to be on Metalopolis and down here spawning in the 6 o'clock position. Currently at a pretty massive deficit in the series. He has been on fire, but it seems as though his opponent has his number. Playing for Team Alternate Attacks, Socke. And up here in the 12 o'clock, hailing from Team Evil Geniuses, he's won 3 of these games in this, what has become a best of 7. Fan favorite, EGHuk.
That's right, Rob. So we're not going to sugarcoat it. EGHuk pretty much rolled Socke in that first game.
Yeah, it was just playing a situation of where EGHuk clearly just felt more confident in the matchup. He didn't actually have anything that he was worried about. Socke tried being very aggressive with that early Blink Stalker play. Both of them opened with that standard 3 Stalker push that we're just seeing more and more of. And actually, I want to find out what EGHuk is doing. Why is EGHuk opting? It almost seems as though he may have placed down the pylon at the incorrect time, because this has happened 2 games in a row.
Well, yeah, what you do is you cut a probe here, essentially, and you're going to get a little bit of a quicker gateway out. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit of an adaptation. A lot of players early on in PvP would actually go for a 10 pylon, and when that 10 pylon finishes, you have just enough money to make a gateway. However, it turns out that, that stylistically went out around early 2011 season, so we don't see that too much. But we saw EGHuk go ahead, and all it costs you really is 1 probe there.
Yeah, and so EGHuk is actually starting his guess just a little bit sooner than Socke. Maybe he's just got another plan. Maybe he's confident enough with his previous strategy that he really just doesn't have anything to worry about. And now, different than last game, Socke is actually getting out here and scouting much sooner. He actually had no idea that that expansion was there until far too late in the game.
And it blows me away. Again, I got to articulate that, Rob. It's the fact that Socke loves his information, so really shocked to see that, that's kind of a critical error to make, especially at this stage of the game. Of course, StarCraft, a game of information, the more you get, the better prepared you can be, and he really put himself behind by not getting that early information.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for him, because with his strategy, he actually could have, he probably could have crushed through, at least had a better chance at fighting had he had his units out there just a bit sooner. EGHuk's second assimilator now wrapping up also. Socke's getting the same thing done over in his base. So really nothing too different yet. Socke getting in there, getting just a little bit of information. And this time EGHuk really isn't worried about scouting out. We see him starting his first Stalker and adding on his second gateway. So this is once again going to be that 3 Stalker opening.
EGHuk has kind of turned into the Honey Badger Protoss at this point, Rob. He doesn't care. Do whatever you want to him. It doesn't phase him.
Well, especially in a mirror, he's just been so confident in this matchup. One of the biggest things, we talk about things that EGHuk has done previously, right? We saw him play against MC before, and he was just, that nobody saw that coming.
Oh, that's right. And, I have to talk a little bit about Socke, though. I can't take anything away from the guy. Again, he's the underdog here, but he's used to being in that situation. He's been the underdog many times before throughout this tournament, throughout his tournament life here at the MLG Winter Championships. So, again, I have to re-articulate that I do firmly believe that Socke has what it takes. He just needs to put everything together and execute flawlessly, which is easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. And so Socke down here, once again, getting out his Twilight Council, so you can bet that we're going to see Blink being researched very soon. He certainly has enough money for that. Now, also, though, EGHuk has done just about the same thing. We see that his Twilight Council is just about finished as well. He's starting to push across the map with his 3 Stalkers and just see if he can get any sort of damage done with these. But of course, because Socke is doing the same thing.
Oh, here we go, Rob.
Wow. Surprisingly, Socke did not get off that first shot there. It could have been so crucial. Oh, well. Both of them are going for DTs, and neither of them have started a robo.
So this could be quite interesting. When we see this happen, it's always one of those things where if you don't prepare properly for DTs, you kind of, just hang your head in shame because they're in your mineral line. There's not much you can do. But both players electing to go for the Dark Shrine.
Look at where these proxy pylons are. How funny is that?
They're, both in the same real estate, if you will, and that is just so ironic. You can say that these guys are definitely on the same wavelength, Rob.
That's so wild. You actually don't really ever see that. Now, Socke has added on 2 more gateways, so he's going to, potentially, he just actually doesn't have enough gas to support 4 gates, so he's just going to be doing 1 big push, or at least 4 gates building only Dark Templar.
Well, it looks like his Huk's Dark Shrine will finish first here, but only slightly.
And now Huk has a few Zealots out in play. Let's take a look at how much army is out there. Now Huk has a lot of stuff already on the field. And of course, we know that Socke did just see that pylon as he ran out of the base. We see the assault stopping, and these Dark Templar are going to be the real question. Of course, Socke is moving in with Dark Templar of his own. Now, one of these players can warp in sentries at home and just simply block the ramp and buy enough time. Socke has tried to expand. He does have 1 sentry down, but that is not going to be able to hold this ramp for very long.
There goes the force field, so may have seen the flicker. And if you look in the main of Huk, we can see right now DTs are in the main, electing initially to go ahead and try to target down that Nexus. And now it looks like under siege is Socke, as Huk's force has gone ahead and breached into the main.
So Socke here, we see that there's really only 2 pylons essentially powering almost everything in this base. So if Huk is able to maintain his aggression, he just has so many more units on the field. He actually killed Sokke's entire army. And now Sokke's moving back with his Dark Templar, but I don't know. Yes, he killed the Nexus up here, which is pretty much going to happen. Oh, wow, and Huk is actually 5 minerals short of being able to create another Nexus, whereas on the other hand, Socke is fully capable of expanding elsewhere.
Yeah, floating around 1,000 minerals, so he's fat in minerals right there, and you can see Huk has not rebuilt his base, does not have the minerals to do so, so could be in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, wow, this is a total Dark Templar carnage. It's just a bit of a base race. Socke is trying to clean up all of the units that he can see, but what it might come down to is this Dark Templar count. Now, Socke has built so many extra buildings. He actually decided to try to build a cybernetics core. He placed.
Oh, I love this. Look at where he's put the Nexus, Rob. That's a great location there. Going to try to hide it from Huk, make him earn it, look for it, and you know, he still has enough minerals behind this that if need be, he can continue to put down pylons, assimilators, which have a good amount of shields and hit points as well, more than any other gas refining unit. Yeah. So.
Oh, and in comes Socke. He's just trying to kill all the units that he can see, because that's the advantage that Huk has right now. If you look at the army, those 3 Zealots do end up making up for the 1 Templar that Socke has in the lead. But really, Socke just has so many buildings on the field. This could be.
Has Huk, I'm going to assume, obviously has not seen that Nexus. Wait a second. Okay, yeah, nope, has not seen it, and is unaware of where it is. Now, he knows that Socke has rebuilt somewhere, and the natural instinct, Rob, is you're going to want to check all of the different mineral lines.
Right, and I'm actually really surprised that Huk hasn't really tried splitting up his force very much. This is just turning into an all-out base race. Now, here, all of these probes can actually do a lot of damage, too.
Yes, absolutely, and, you know, it's going to come down to can Socke destroy the entire base of Huk before that Nexus gets discovered? It's only a matter of time before Huk finds that.
This is really tricky. Oh, man. There could have been a situation where Socke may have actually had enough minerals to create a Nexus, a pylon, and a forge, and a cannon. But he chose to build the 1 cybernetics core up in this area that he unfortunately lost.
Just to buy time.
Yeah. And so here he is, he's building a forge, and he's going to try mining to get that 150 minerals.
Right, so no, you're absolutely right, Rob. And it's about maintaining composure. He, again, was just trying to buy time. That would have been the solid play to do, of course, the much safer play. But, oh, look at this. I think that Huk is going to discover it here.
Yes, he sees
we see the
probe mining. Wow, it's looking like going for that cannon may have just cost Socke the game now.
There's
he
the
cancels the forge, but of course without the forge tech, he's not going to be able to build a cannon.
Well, it seems as though he may want to use those minerals elsewhere. As you can see, currently Huk has
enough to build 1 assimilator, and he's moving across the map. He knows where the last buildings remain. So Socke's trying to get this probe as far away. This is the last probe. As long as that Zealot is on that probe, though, Huk is going to know exactly where Socke's last building is.
Oh, man. And this is down to the wire.
Oh, this is actually Socke's last building, aside from this assimilator. And there's just so much damage going into that Nexus. And now here is the final building. Oh, it's a bit of a race, though. Is the Twilight Council going to go down, or will it first be this assimilator? Oh,
it looks like
it's not looking good for Huk.
And Huk is defeated. Socke does it, so there it is. I mean, that was one of the...
Also, if we take a look back at the game, Socke actually had a second assimilator start as well. He canceled that forward, so that meant that he had 160-ish. So he had 2 assimilators, so Socke was well prepared for that situation.
I have to say, there's not too many games I'm speechless where there were certain situations during that match where I was just on the edge of my chair, Rob. You don't always see matches turn out like that. That was definitely a unique match. Where else but MLG, man? That was amazing.
Both players rushing for a Dark Shrine, getting out those DTs. And
the proxy pylons within...
In the same extra unoccupied base.
Unreal.
Pretty unreal. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was game number 4 in the series. When we come back, can Socke continue this streak? Or is EGHuk going to make it happen? That went down straight to the wire. Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. I'm Rob Simpson.
I'm Tumba.
And we'll see you soon.